We have just arrived at the Grizzly RV Park in West Yellowstone. We're going to set up our site and head out to explore for the afternoon, and our first stop is going to be the Grizzly and Wolf Discovery Center. The Grizzly and Wolf Discovery Center is a not-for-profit wildlife park and educational facility where you can see grizzly bears, wolves, otters, birds of prey, and some other smaller species. The grizzly bears have all been taken in from the wild in situations where they became too familiar with humans and associated them with their food. Our last stop of the day is Yellowstone Beer Company. We're going to relax and get our plans for Yellowstone figured out. It is our very first day in Yellowstone National Park and we are up and ready before the sun. We are headed directly to the Old Faithful Village area in hopes to see Old Faithful without the crowds. Sunrise is an incredible time to be inside the park and we've already run into some bison on the road. We are headed to Old Faithful right now. It's about 7 in the morning and it is 35 degrees out. Once we got to the Old Faithful Inn, we realized that getting up early was going to pay off. There were other people, but they were very spread out. We stopped at the cafeteria to see if there was an updated prediction time on the next eruption and grab a coffee. The eruption predictions are not updated overnight, so if you go at sunrise, you might have to wait a while. Thankfully, we didn't, as it started just after we got our coffee. Old Faithful. We thought that it was supposed to be 7:45, but it's actually like 7:20. 7:15. 7:15. So. After watching the first eruption, we walked the boardwalk surrounding the geysers for long enough to watch the Old Faithful erupt again before going inside the Old Faithful Inn. We had timed our visit just right, so we were able to watch Old Faithful erupt 3 times before we headed out to our hike. We're now going to do the Fairy Falls hike and stop at the Grand Prismatic overlook on the way back. The Fairy Falls trail over to Grand Prismatic and Fairy Falls. How have you been liking Yellowstone so far?
Good. We'll see with all the people in here though. There must have been an old service road or something.
Probably. We're now on the Fairy Falls extension of the trail. A lot of the crowd peeled off to look at the Grand Prismatic overview spot. We'll probably do that on our way back. Just left Fairy Falls at a really good time. The crowds are picking up and we got some good pictures alone by the waterfall, and it was really peaceful. The Grand Prismatic Scenic Overlook is one of the best views of the spring that you can possibly get, but you need to be prepared when you go that it is incredibly busy. It is not size correctly for the amount of visitors that it gets, and you're going to be sardined into this tiny little platform. But you have to do it, just be prepared. Our goal for the rest of the morning is to see the rest of the main points between Old Faithful and Madison. Our main stops will be the Black Sand Basin, Biscuit Basin, Fountain Flats Drive, and to see the Firehole River.
I'm hungry.
Tell me when you're not hungry.
When I'm sleeping?
have dinner reservations tonight, so we're going to spend some time with Riley back at the camper for the afternoon.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. You got chargers for everything?
Yep. We are headed to Royal River Barbecue. River House.
River House Barbecue.
I'll never get it right. We're headed to River House Barbecue. About an hour north of West Yellowstone, and it's supposed to be really good. The vibe at River House Barbecue was fantastic. We got beers and sat outside while we waited for our table. For being a Monday night, the place was packed. I would give our experience a 10 out of 10 and our food an 8 out of 10, and I would definitely be back. We're gonna go back to the camper and hang out with Riley now, but we hope to see you guys tomorrow.